That is Senator John Hoeven, Republican, North Dakota. Mr. Senator, left-hand side of the screen, oil's all the way down to $20 a barrel. Our frackers and drillers are being attacked by the Saudis. I believe you spoke to Energy Secretary Bruyette about this. What's he going to do about it?
Well, I've spoken to the president about it. I've spoken to Secretary Mnuchin. On Friday, I talked to both the Secretary of Energy, Bruyette, also talked to Larry Kudlow, putting a big push on to get the president to talk to Saudi Arabia, Russia, and others. We've got to end this oil price war. We're fighting the pandemic. We don't need an oil price war at the same time.
Are you close to layoffs in the North Dakota oil business?
Sure. That's not only here, but in Texas and, throughout the whole energy belt. You're talking hundreds of companies and thousands of jobs. You just quoted the oil price down at $20. Look, we're going to have low and stable gasoline prices for our consumers as long as we have that domestic industry. But with a price war like that, if it starts like we have, if that starts putting our people out of business and hurting our industry, that's when you get those spikes. So very important here that the president intervene. He's doing that. You see that happening today. Again, we need to get these other countries working with us, not continuing this price war.
How does it feel in rural America? I ask the question because in urban America, suburban America, we're all locked down. We're staying in our houses and apartments no matter where we are. So there's a feeling of lockdown. But I don't think that's the case in a place like North Dakota, where you're all spread apart anyway. In fact, rural America, I think 85% of the rural counties don't have a single case in those counties. So it feels different to you than what it does to us.
It does. I mean, we still have the coronavirus. We're still doing the stay at home, the social distancing, all those kind of things. But there's just a lot more space. So you can get outdoors. You can enjoy the outdoors. And people try to do that, still being very careful to, social distance and all that kind of thing. But it's not like being in New York City or being, in San Francisco or New Orleans or one of these places that are really having a hard time right now. But we still have to follow the procedures. And the other thing about the Midwest, very common sense people, I think they do a very good job of looking at this and saying, hey, we know what we're supposed to do. We're going to beat this thing, and we're going to work to beat it sooner rather than later.
But those rural counties and a state like yours would probably be the first to relax the social distancing rules after April 30th. You'd be the first, I think.
Well, I hope we're early on. I think it will be kind of a phased approach. You saw the president extended those guidelines now till the end of April, but we know that it's going to work differently throughout the country. That's one of the strengths of America. And so we'll start to figure out how to do it following the advice of the experts. But again, we want to start figuring out that game plan is how we come out of this sooner versus later while still making sure we protect the vulnerable populations.
Senator John Hoeven, Republican, North Dakota. Thanks for joining us, sir. Always appreciate it. Always.
Thanks, Stuart.